So I want you to see this area right here. This area right here is what holds, hang on, I got a pretty purple. So just to let you know, this glass right here, this is a spectrum or oceanside, they call it now. So this is an oceanside, and the part number on this is a purple streaky or an amethyst streaky. So it's amethyst and white. And when you get it into the light, it kind of looks like an amber, but that's white and the amethyst color. So, but what this, and it's oddly enough, I have an unsquare side on this, and we're going to use it. So we're going to take out our cutter, just one of them, because we're going to talk about several different cutters tonight.
And you're going to show them how to square it up?
First thing we're going to do is we're going to square this up. So when you push that, there we go. This the little bridge right here, okay? That little bridge goes right directly against the edge of your glass. Now you can see how messed up this piece of glass is. It's right here. It's a flare. It's just free-handed, it looks like. But what we're going to do is if you'll put your thumb back here, a finger here, and these fingers here, they act like little grips, okay? Now I have seen people put like cork buttons on it or something, but you really don't need to do that. What you have to do is teach yourself to hold the square straight. It'll cut exactly a 12 by 12 with a little bit left over on the top. But listen, what this is going to do is this right here. These are my Leponettes, and I'm going to go ahead and bring out my Leponette browser. So we'll put those right here for us so that we can see them. Okay, so I love these little pliers here. So here we go. And this is my Silversmith 2000. Here we go. Now remember, this head doesn't depress. And when you're cutting the glass, you have to have the same pressure start to finish. And here we go. Now make sure that when you're scoring your glass, this particular glass, you could see where the score was because you could hear it and you know that the glass is soft. So, but to answer Kevin's question, I believe it was Kevin, this is what I do, okay? So if I'm working with a glass that I can't really see my score, which, you know what? Let me get a piece of glass that I won't be able to see my score. Okay, so we're going to share this one with you. This is another piece of this will be going in the box. This is a Wismac 118D. D being dense, cobalt blue and white, y'all. It's really, really a beautiful glass. And we see now that this side is pretty much out of square. So this is what we're going to do. And Kevin, this is the best way that I've found to do it. Is we're going to square this up, and just because it's longer to go this way, it's really messed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glass cutter, and as you notice, you can't hear it, you can't see it, but this is what I do. I just put a little mark right there before I remove my square, and I know that I'm right pretty much where I need to be. So we can get right in there and lay it on that line, and there you go. And because I put a mark there and I knew where I was, we don't get that really intense, jagged flare. So this glass is very dense, and you cannot hear your score most of the time. When you run over the blue, and we've talked in the past before, guys, cobalt blue is a very soft glass. It's kind of like green. So it's very soft. But white, on the other hand, is a very dense glass. So by using this glass here, you're probably not going to be able to hear your score. So we can still see that this piece of glass is still out. So we're going to come down and we're going to cut this. And there you go. You didn't hear it again, but here we go. We're just going to take our little black marker, and we put a mark there. And now we know where that score is, so that we can take and grab our running pliers and put it right on that score. No flare because we centered it. So I brought a pistol grip cutter, and I do want to talk to y'all a little bit about this. So this is a Toyo cutter, but the head on this has been honed to, the head on this is a TC600. So this cutter, after looking it up, this blade is designed to cut up to 20 millimeter glass, which to me, I think it's a little bit sharp, but it is honed out that it's a wide angle wheel. It's 140 degrees. But let's do a little score here, a cut, and see what happens. I know what's going to happen first of all is we're not going to hear this for sure. All right. So while I'm looking at that, I'm going to put a mark there. So now I know where it is. Because y'all know I like to turn my glass around and I like to start from the end that I finished on. So I'm using my my Lepinets, and we're just going to break this. You can see the run now. See the run right there. And we'll just go ahead and continue this. And then we'll come back around because now remember, I've put my mark there, so I know where that one is too. So here we go. And we went right in to the area and got that piece of glass cut right out. So let's do a color that we can see. Let's do this one. Now y'all have seen me use my my palm grip, my Thompson palm cutter on this. So this cutter here, this is a Toyo. This is a TC1 head, okay? TC1. This cutter is designed for you to be able to cut up to 10 millimeter glass, which is 3/8 inch glass. And you know what? That's plenty enough. It's very comfortable in your hand. And for those of you that are just learning how to cut glass, this is a great little budget glass cutter for you that works like nobody's business. So we're going to share a little something with you, and something that is kind of a mistaken thing about these cutters. And when you first get your glass cutter, it doesn't matter what cutter it is, if you can remove the top on it because it's oil fed. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to show you exactly how much oil you need. And then when you're done with that in your cutter, that's it. You're done. You don't need, then you can just continue to dip it and you'll be fine. So I'm going to get a little bit of cutter oil here. And this is Studio Pro cutter oil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it right there. And now that's going to flow down to the bottom. But all you need, when the little dropper that comes with your glass cutter, all you need to do is just fill up about that much in your eyedropper, and then you'll be able to get all this, and then put your top on. Use the glass here, bro. Look at this, y'all. This is beautiful. This is another oceanside glass. This is just your teal and your and it looks like a blue running through it. I'm sorry, I don't have a part number for this for you, but I did find it, and I thought to myself, wow, what a beautiful piece of glass to share with everyone tonight. So we're going to do another cut on this, and you can see it's not square, but we're going to do another cut on this. This one I should be able to see my score, but I want you to listen to this cutter. So depress the head, pull, and then we're gonna take our grousers this time because it's a little narrow. We're gonna do that. I want you to put your knuckle right up against the pliers and put the pliers up a little bit from your score and pull down, and automatically it comes away. It's all out of square, everything. I just whacked it up, as they say. So the best thing to do is you're gonna find that when you use this tool here, even though this piece is out, you have to start from an area. Now this right here is going to take this edge, and now it's going to take this edge. I'm using my silver snit. This is the 4000, guys. And I'm not going to grab my 9,000. You know why? Because they don't make one. So here we go. So we have a nice score. And now once we get this end square to this end, okay, down and away, don't forget about that, guys. Now, this is square, this is squared. So now we have, this is squared. So what's going to happen is you can still see that there's an 1/8 of an inch here and there's a 1/4 of an inch here. So we want to slide that over just enough to start the score. Now this is too narrow for my running pliers to pick up, but I am going to grab a hold of it with my grousers. And remember, I'm only holding the glass with my grousing pliers and I'm breaking the glass with my right hand. So I'm pulling down and away. Now you can see the difference in the width of that, okay? And guess what? Now we only have one side left to clean up, and that is everything is square now, and we're going to square this up, and our fourth side is square now as soon as I make that cut. Now, if you got a piece of glass that's so out of whack like this one just was, and you need to get it square, you have to start from one end. Even if that end is like this, you have to start from one of those ends. Now look, everything, once I come over, all of this is nice and square. Just like, see that? Same distance, top to bottom. Flip it over, same distance, top to bottom. I'm just showing you the edge, and then here we go. Same distance, top to bottom. There we go. The same distance, top to bottom. So we've taken a piece of glass that was like obtuse angle. So we've taken that piece of glass, and you know how big this piece of glass was when we started, but there it is, guys. You have to, in order to square it up, just start on one edge, square the edge up next to that, and then turn, square that edge up, and turn and square that edge up. And what I did want to share with you though is this economical cutter that is around $27, which is really a good price for it. It's lightweight, and so it has a 138 degree angle on the wheel. And if I look at the TC1 versus the TC600, the one on the TC600 is really fat. And again, in this one, you can see the two different size wheel. I don't know if you can, you probably can't see that, but the difference is 138 and 140. And this wheel is a wide body, and this wheel is definitely much less of an angle this way as opposed to that way. So when you take this cutter, this is your 4000 here. This has a very wide honed wheel on it, and this one, your economic cutter, it'll cut up to 10 millimeter glass. You can use this, it's no problem. 10 millimeter being 3/8. You know what you want to do, just make sure you oil your glass before, or oil your cutter, even if you dip it in a wheel like that. So I do want to do a retraction for you guys, because in the last video I said that this was a fiberglass handle, and it's not. This is just an acrylic. It's acrylic. It's plexiglass. So you know you want to be careful with it. And sometimes what happens, and they've gotten these a lot better now, but it used to split right there. And it doesn't do that any longer, because what they did is they thickened it up, and it lasts a lot longer. But for $26 and some change, this is a great glass cutter for you, and you can get it in your favorite color, but it's a great glass cutter to learn how to cut glass on. And remember, it'll cut thicker glass. Make sure you just clean your glass prior to using it. So on the silver snit cutter, we can see the steeper angle is on the back side of the silver snit. Oh, and something that I found out. The silver snit 4000 does not interchange heads with the silver snit 5000. Those heads do not interchange with each other. And again, you know, the 2000's got a fixed head, but yeah, So when you're using this cutter here, this Toyo cutter, the screw head goes in the front, okay? And on the Silversmith 4000, the screw head faces you and goes to the back. So I think that you'll be happy. This cutter, you know, it's Toyo, so it's made in Japan, but it's a good cutter. It has limited swivel, and when that head depresses, all of a sudden the oils will just lubricate your wheel for you. And once that little bit of oil is gone, and everybody's going to have a different way, you know, some people are going to say, well, just fill that bad boy up. Well, you know what, you can do that, but it gets really messy when you're trying to work. So what you want to do is just use enough oil to wet the wick. Well, you could say that 3 times, really.
Wet the wick.
Wet the wick. What? So when you have that, just make sure that you are not overfilling your cutter. And again, that's just my opinion about it. And some people will tell you to fill it up, and you really don't need to. There's no reason to have that much oil in your cutter because it doesn't use that much oil. So anyway, I'm glad I could share this with you. I want to share all these beautiful colors with you. We're going to put this bad boy back in the bag, and we're going to take these back. So these are the new glass cutters. Oops. These are the new glass cutters that we have for our new student tools in the classroom for this year. So this is the cutter when you take a class with us. This is the cutter I'm going to teach you how to use and how to work it and how to make sure that it does exactly what you need it to do. Look at this, y'all. I call this glass bubble gum, and this is a Wismac 264 LL. LL being the transparency of this glass. See that? It's very transparent. It's got a lot of clear in it, but it also has purple, sky blue, lime green on clear, and then when those swirl together, it's just really, really pretty. So let's just use our square again, and look, guess what? That piece of glass is out. See it? It's out. But we're going to use our square, and I'm going to use a pistol grip cutter this time. This is the 600 head. Let's listen to this. Yeah. So, and then when we take our pliers, remember, like we talked last week, if I've got my score, let me just show you. I'm going to put, this is my score. So you can see the center of my score. So when you put your running pliers on there, you see the line on top of it? You want to make sure that that plier, not lined up with it's lined up with your score. If you go to the left, you get a flare. If you go to the right of it, you get a flare. And if you go too far out, it won't even run it all the way out. But if you go right in the center and squeeze, now see I split the black line on that too. But guess what? There's no flares. You hear it? It sounds quite different when you're scoring iridized glass. So here we go. And this may or may not break. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
It does. It just sounds different as you go across it. But